Imagine surviving this heat without air conditioning. No fans, refrigerators, or cool buildings existed. The sun could become dangerously intense. But humans had one powerful advantage: adaptation. They learned when the heat was coming, and they learned when to disappear. Instead of fighting the sun, they avoided it. Their daily routine changed with the temperature. Morning became their most valuable working time, and the hottest hours belonged to shade. The simplest cooling system was already everywhere. Trees became natural shelters from dangerous sunlight. Rock overhangs offered something even better. Deep shade could feel dramatically cooler underneath. Families searched for these places before midday. Some shelters were hidden inside rocky landscapes, while others were surrounded by thick vegetation. The goal was simple: escape direct sunlight. And sometimes underground spaces worked even better. Nature had already built their cooling system. Then came the most important resource: water. Without it, extreme heat became much more dangerous. Ancient humans learned where water sources existed. Rivers became lifelines across scorching landscapes. People traveled toward water during cooler hours and drank before beginning difficult journeys. They also carried water whenever possible. But water did more than satisfy thirst. Bodies could lose water surprisingly quickly. So finding water meant finding survival itself. Their homes weren't just places to sleep. They could also protect people from heat. Thick materials helped block direct sunlight. Small openings limited the strongest sunlight entering. Some shelters used natural underground cooling, while others depended on shade from surrounding structures. People learned which locations stayed cooler longest. Wind direction also mattered more than you think. Good shelter could make unbearable heat manageable. Their architecture quietly worked with nature. Clothing wasn't only about surviving cold weather. It could also protect skin from sunlight. Direct sunlight can become brutally uncomfortable. Natural materials provided some protection from exposure. Loose coverings could create useful shade. Head coverings were especially valuable under strong sunlight. People also adjusted clothing to their environment. More clothing wasn't always the better choice. Breathable materials could make movement easier. Their clothing choices depended heavily on climate. But shade wasn't their only natural advantage. Wind could turn a hot shelter comfortable. People noticed how air moved through landscapes. They built shelters where breezes naturally passed. Open entrances could improve airflow inside. Trees also helped redirect moving air. Even sleeping locations could depend on airflow. They didn't need machines to understand ventilation. They simply watched nature carefully, and nature showed them what worked. The smartest trick wasn't physical at all. They simply stopped working during peak heat. Morning became the perfect time for hard work. Afternoons were slower, quieter, and more sheltered. Then activity returned as temperatures dropped. Hunting could happen during cooler periods. Traveling during midday made little sense. Even social activities followed the changing temperature. Night brought another opportunity to move. Their clock followed the sun, not technology. Sometimes the coolest place was beneath their feet. Caves offered protection from intense outdoor temperatures. Deep rock stayed insulated from sunlight. Underground spaces could remain surprisingly stable. That made caves valuable during extreme conditions. Some became temporary shelters during brutal afternoons. Others became long-term homes for entire families. But caves had dangers of their own. Predators could want the same shelter. Survival always meant balancing comfort against danger. And here's the part people often forget. Humans already had a remarkable cooling system. Our bodies release heat through sweating. That sounds simple, but it's incredibly useful. Sweat helps remove heat from our skin. Water then becomes essential for replacing lost fluids. This ability helps humans remain active longer, especially compared with many other mammals. But sweating only works when hydration keeps up. So water and sweating work together. So how did humans survive extreme heat? They didn't have one magical solution. They combined dozens of simple strategies. Shade protected them from direct sunlight. Water replaced what their bodies lost. Shelters blocked heat and encouraged airflow. Clothing protected skin from harsh exposure. Daily schedules avoided the hottest hours. And human sweating helped keep bodies active. No AC required, just observation, adaptation, and teamwork.